Yeah, let me check.
Yeah, let me double check it too.
We good. We should be good.
God. Yeah. We're good.
We good. All right, Shalawam. Before we begin this lesson, we'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah.
Yahawah.
BAHASHAM.
BAHASHAM.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
BAHASHAM.
BAHASHAM.
Qadash.
Qadash.
All right. Double honors to the elders, the great millstone. Shalawam, Wabarakathum, to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. We're going to go into a Passover lesson. All right. We pray it's edifying. This video is edifying. So, right. The Passover coming around, what, on Sunday? All right, at sundown. All right, March 5th on sundown. All right, we're going to go into Yahawah's crucifixion. All right, we're going to try to fit in 2 parts into one video. If not, we're going to make this 2 parts. We're going to go into Exodus 12. We're going to go into who can eat the Passover, who cannot eat the Passover. All right, so let's begin. All right, Judges 5 and 11.
God. This is Judges 5 verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord Yahawah, even the righteous acts.
Right, and that's
go for that.
Right, we're keeping the Passover. All right, the Passover is something to be kept year in and year out. It's 12, and I believe it's verse 42. Verse 42.
What book was that at? You cut.
Right, we're keeping the Passover. What? Now say that again.
You cut out. What was that one?
Exodus 12 and 42.
God.
Exodus 12 and 42. I believe it's Exodus 12 and 42.
This is Exodus.
It says that yeah.
This is Exodus 12 verse 42. It is a night to be much observed unto Yahawah for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This is that night of Yahawah to be observed of all the children of Israel and their generations.
Right, to all the children of Israel. It didn't say to all the children of Moab, the Edomites, the Japhaites, the Hamites, the Assyrians, the Syrians. No, all the children of Israel. The Passover was given to the Israelites. All right. Right. So read Judges 5 and 11 again now. So here in America, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. So we gotta what? Constantly, keep the holy days, all right, year in and year out. All right, you got the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is the Passover, same exact thing. All right, you got our other holy days, but this is like the most important one because Yahawashi is our Passover.
God.
Right, Yahawashi is our Passover. So
this is Judges chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord Yahawah, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of Yahawah go down to the gates.
Right. So we're rehearsing the righteous acts, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. Now, we were delivered, from ancient Egypt, underneath the hands of the Hamites, right?
God.
But the Lord, this time, he's going to deliver us over, out of Babylon the Great, or America, which is called the land of the north. And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. So, right. So we are to rehearse the righteous acts. Always keep this in mind. All right. Always keep this in mind. Right. Because the Passover is a solemn assembly. All right. The Passover is not a hip hop concert. Like you got the IUIC doing, you got the Sakari doing, a rap concert, a wrestling match. All right, the Passover is a solemn assembly. All right, Yahawashi kept a serious Passover. All right. Let's jump to Exodus. I guess we could start from let's just get right to like Exodus 12 and 43. Who can eat the Passover and who can't? You can read that in the NLT. We'll read all the way down to like verse 48. All right, so the Lord is going to deliver us what? Out of America, out of Babylon the Great. All right.
God. This is Exodus chapter 12 and verse 43. And Yahawah said unto Moses and Aaron, This is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof, but every man's servants.
Read the NLT. Is that the NLT or no?
Salakia, that's the King James. The NLT, this is Exodus
Right.
12 and 43. Then Yahawah said to Moses and Aaron, These are the instructions for the festival of Passover. No outsiders are allowed to eat the Passover meal, but any
no
slave.
Outsiders.
God.
Right. Let's stop right there. No outsiders. All right. So, Yahawah or be for like a heathen nation. So they're not allowed to eat the Passover.
God.
All right. Because when you read verse 43, it says stranger in that's talking about a heathen. You can't eat the Passover if you're not an Israelite. All right. For brothers that don't know, that word is nakar. You can look it up yourself. Go into that word stranger and it's nakar. Okay, which would be a heathen.
Verse 44. But
You got it out.
Exodus 12 and 44. But any slave who has been purchased may eat it if he has been circumcised. Temporary residents and hired servants may not eat it. Each Passover lamb must be eaten and in one house. Do not carry any of its meat outside and do not break any of its bones.
Hey, yeah, what verse are you reading?
That's verse 46.
What verse? Okay.
Verse 47. The whole community of Israel must celebrate this Passover festival. If there are foreigners living among you who want to celebrate the Lord's Passover, let all their males be circumcised. Only then may they celebrate the Passover with you, like any native-born Israelite. But no uncircumcised
male. So now
male.
that word in Exodus 12 and that word in Exodus 12 and 48, that's talking about an Israelite foreigner. That word is gar. That'll be gar, an Israelite foreigner, a temporary inhabitant of gar. You had to be circumcised because that's in our laws when you go to Genesis, the 17th chapter. All right, so a non-Israelite cannot eat the Passover, but Israelite foreigners or Israelites can eat the Passover.
God.
Right?
That's what that
confusion. Just wanted to get.
No, that's beautiful. I went ahead and pulled it up. And the interlinear, it goes into it. It's two different words, but they meshed it into one, because that's how these devils work.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's crazy. A lot of people will try to say, but it says a stranger can eat the Passover when you read verse 48, but they're not looking up words. The Bible tells you to study to show yourself approved. They're not looking up words. So when you go to stranger in verse 43, that's talking about a non-Israelite. When you go to stranger in verse 48, that's talking about an Israelite.
Yeah.
Like stranger, and they think it means the same exact thing. One word can mean multiple things.
Like the word world, God.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's beautiful. That's why the Spirit is definitely guiding, brothers, to dig into.
Right.
So where we left off, what was it? Verse 48.
Nah, that was it on that. That was it. That was the point. That was the point. Just for brothers that don't know that there's two different words for stranger. So we could just jump to like Exodus 12 and we can start at 1.
God.
As as we going in the spirit too, because brothers wrote down. But it's like, okay, which one we going to go into? It's all going to connect though, because it's part of the lesson,
So you said Exodus 12 starting at the top?
Actually, before we do that, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
God.
Right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And let's start at verse start at verse 23. We're going to read all the way down to like verse 29.
God.
And also for time's sake, we're just going to make like a brief summary. We're not going to go into everything, you know.
God.
We'll be here for hours.
Just jump back into the King James, right? Or are we reading in the NLT?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter on this. I just wanted to prove that with Exodus 12.
God. This is 1 Corinthians 11, verse 23. For I have received of the Lord Yahawah, or no, Salaki, that's lowercase. Let me go forward. For I have received of the Lord, God, that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahawashi, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me.
Right. And that's why, you can stop right there. And that's why we eat like unleavened bread during the Passover, and we drink yayan, or we drink wine that represents Yahawah's blood, and the bread represents Yahawah's body. I mean the bread, yes. All right. Or
God.
the bread and the wine.
God. Jumping back to 1 Corinthians 11, verse 26. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come.
So that shows you that we got to rehearse the righteous acts, right? Something that we have to rehearse is something that we practice. You know, we got to go over and over and over it again until we know. Of course, we're not going to get everything perfect on this side, but you got to keep the Passover. You got to remember Yahawah's death, because that's what Exodus 12, which we hope to get into, is all about. All right, because Yahawashi was predestined to die for the nation of Israel, which I got a precept lined up for that. But Yahawashi was predestined to die for the nation of Israel.
God.
All right, even before Exodus chapter 12.
God. Right? Verse 27. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord.
But let me look up that word unworthily, before we move any further. Let me look up that word unworthily. It's G371, anaxios, an unworthy manner. Unworthily. Let me Google it. Maybe give me a better. Worthless, base, dishonorable, okay, undeserving. So when you eat the Passover, you got to have what? A serious mind. Oh, let me just go to the Passover. I'm about to go eat some lamb. Oh, I got some yayan waiting. No, you can't think like that. Oh, this gonna be that we're gonna hold a rap concert. All right, we're gonna have the red carpet laid out. This ain't nothing like that. All right, this ain't nothing like that. This is something that we must rehearse. All our forefathers kept the Passover. All our fathers kept the Passover. You know, it's something serious to keep. All right, and this Passover, this is gonna be the second Passover, the new Passover, us being delivered and beamed up in those chariots. Okay, when Yahawashi, destroys this place of World War, we're gonna get beamed up. Okay, during World War III, so you're gonna have World War III, Yahawashi returning. All right, but this is something that we must keep. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a holiday like these people do in the society. Let me just go to my friend's house and we're gonna keep this Thanksgiving dinner and no, this is serious. This is deadly serious. This is our life, our heritage, our culture, and this is something that we have to keep. All right. All right. Solemn means serious. Means serious. Right? A lot of these Israelites, actually, you know what? Before this slips my mind, let me grab one precept here in Amos chapter 5, right? Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. It says this: I despise your feast days I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Okay, but because a lot of these Israelites aren't keeping the Passover seriously because they don't care about Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? A lot of man, there was one Passover brother had shown me a few years back. He showed me IUIC selling shirts with fringes, with the fringe on it at the Passover. And the shirt had like like the New York Mets logo on it, like the New York Mets logo on it. I'm like, damn, this is some crazy. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, man.
God.
That's not how you show the Lord's death until he returns. You don't show the Lord's death by having an Israelite. This ain't no Israelite party, man. This ain't to be over here playing games and violating and disrespecting the Passover.
God.
All right. You got it, Doc. That was it on that precept.
God. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 28. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth...
Right. Let's stop right there. What does it mean to examine? Right. What does it mean to examine? All right. Let's grab that word examine.
To test.
Right. I got you. I'll grab it.
God.
To test, examine, prove, scrutinize, to see whether a thing is genuine or not. Okay, as metals, to recognize as genuine after examination, to approve, deem worthy. So all ain't like you. It's like a 2/3 going to the Passover. How does that fit with Yahawashi's death? How does that fit? A 2/3 going to the Passover, or
God.
somebody that's out of order, all right, not conducting themselves in a proper manner. You're gonna let somebody like that come to the Passover? That's off. That's wrong. All right. I remember the brother, he in the spirit world now, DMX. You had him going up to the to Chief Ephraim or the HOI, I believe it was in Atlanta, down in Atlanta, Georgia, and they invited him to the Passover. They invited DMX to the Passover.
Man.
But over here, we ain't gonna do. You don't see brothers in Great Millstone or GMS or Great Millstone offshoots inviting 2/3 to the Passover, because we're not gonna do that. They're unworthy. Why the hell are you gonna sit? The scripture tell you not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. They don't believe in the Bible. They don't believe in nothing we say.
God.
Right?
There's this
and also when you look back at ancient Egypt, all right, you had Israelites that had the blood on the doorpost, right? You had Israelites that had the blood on the doorpost, with the blood represents who? Yahawashi, keeping us safe from the death angel, which he is the death angel. All right. God. So a lot of Israelites ain't gonna have that blood in it, like the doorpost of your mind, have that blood, you know what I mean? Think about Yahawashi, all right, protecting his elect. All right, but back then, all right, you had unbelieving Israelites. Now, how much more now? You got unbelieving Israelites now. They're not gonna keep no Passover. They don't care about Yahawashi. All right, and that's why the scriptures say that what? The slain of the Lord shall be many. And a lot of Israelites, 2/3 shall be cut off and die. All right? 2/3 is 66.6%. A lot of Israelites are going to be put to death on this side. Not God. All Israelites are going to make it.
God.
You got it out.
This was to back you up. If you jump back one chapter, this is 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
Beautiful. Wow.
Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. To back the brother up, you can't be double-minded. What essentially it's going into. You can't be people in the world step in on a solemn assembly.
Yeah, and that's right, brother. That's right. That's right.
God. Let me jump back. Where did we leave it off at? It was First Corinthians 11.
First Corinthians 11, I believe it was like 20 something.
God. It looks like...
We can read to like verse 29, though.
Okay. Yeah, I'll read 28 once again. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 28. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body.
Yeah, that's straight to the point. That's straight to the point. I got a precept here.
God.
Let me bring this out.
God, while you
this
look
is Ezekiel.
I'm gonna go grab me a tissue real quick.
God. Right, this is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐅, which means an exemption from judgment. All right, because this Passover is going to be the greatest Passover ever. All right, Yahawashi delivering us, okay, because Yahawashi is that death angel. All right, this going to be the greatest Passover ever.
God.
All right, but you're gonna have men. You're gonna have the 1/3. They're gonna be what? They're gonna be sealed for redemption on this side. All right, they're gonna be sealed for redemption. So now they're not gonna face judgment like the 2/3 on this side. That's why the scripture saying that Zechariah 13:8, that 2/3 should be cut off and die. But you will have a remnant that the Lord is gonna beam up.
God, they're gonna
Right
be
now,
spiritually marked with that blood you had mentioned.
Right, that's right. I read to like verse 6. It says this, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go he after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have he pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Like I mentioned, that word for mark is 𝐤𝐄𝐄, which means an exemption from judgment. All right, which we hope to be exempt.
Included in that remnant.
Right, because these like we say, these people are missile food. They're like missile food. They're gonna get, burnt up.
Exactly. We finished off in 1 Corinthians 11. Was there something you wanted to grab next, Doc?
What verse you want?
Let me see. I was trying to check back up on the one you had sent me earlier, Baruch. Let me see.
Oh yeah, Baruch 2. No, we don't have to grab that now. We don't got to grab that now. Right. Let's go to man. It's do we go to 1 Corinthians yet? No, let's matter of fact, let's go to oh man. I got so many precepts, it's like overwhelming to look at them.
God.
Hold on. Hold on. There's a precept that I wanted to bring. You know what? Let's just go to Exodus 12.
God.
Let's go to Exodus 12. I really ain't have it in order, so we just go into the spirit. I ain't have it in order.
God.
All right. So we established that only Israelites can eat the Passover. Heathens cannot. Right.
God. This is Exodus 12. We'll begin at the top. It reads, and Yahawah spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
Right. And the beginning of months is the word is I forget how to say it in the Hebrew, but it's Abib. When you read the next chapter over, that's like March. Abayab. That's like March and April. All right, which is what the springtime. Which around this time.
God. Verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
Let's stop right there. All right. Now, according to Exodus, right? You could either eat lamb or you could eat goat, which brothers prefer to eat what? The lamb, because it represents who? Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
But now it says without blemish, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Now, who is without blemish?
Yahawashi.
Okay, who's without blemish? All right, so let's bring it out. This is 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 19. But with the precious blood of a Mashiach Yahawashi, as of a lamb without blemish and without spots. You see?
God.
So Yahawashi was without blemish. Blemish is a spot. All right, he was the perfect sacrifice.
God.
Yahawashi was the perfect sacrifice.
God, that's a beautiful point.
So you can eat lamb or you can eat goat during the Passover.
God. Verse 6, back in Exodus chapter 12. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And ye shall take of the
blood. Right, you keep reading.
God. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall.
Right. And
God.
we made mention that blood represents Yahawashi's blood. All right.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
That's right.
Eat not of it raw.
Oh yeah. Now, right, we also, when we eat bitter herbs, some brothers prefer, they like have the horseradish. I've that's because it's bitter, represents slavery and bondage too. The bitterness, us being in slavery here in America, that's why we also eat the bitter herbs, which brothers had wormwood. That's it's very bitter, very bitter. It's worse than horseradish. Did I say horseradish? Yeah, it's worse than horseradish. That is bitter. Wormwood. All right. So it's that bitterness that represents us being in hardcore bondage or in captivity, because we are still in captivity. Right.
Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof.
Now we may when you read the part that it said a male, right? A male lamb or male. Now we don't know. When you go to the supermarket, you don't know if that's a female or we don't know what it is. We just pray that you can only do to the best that you can on this side. We don't know. All right. But you will roast the lamb with we'll roast it or whatever. We won't put no seasoning on it. This ain't no dinner. You go to, hey, let me get you putting on your little towel over here, ready to munch up. No, this ain't got nothing to do with it. It's it's just no time for none of that. No time for no season. No time for no. This ain't no dinner. This ain't no lamb dinner. All right.
God. And ye eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof.
Meaning the whole body, which brothers don't do on this side.
God.
We get like the lamb chops and the lamb and just do it like that.
God. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste.
Now, why does it say your shoes on your feet? It's like you ain't kick back. What, you gonna lay back? You gonna take off your shoes or let me go. You know what I'm saying? No, it was time to leave. It was time to get to withdraw or leave from Egypt. The Lord was going to deliver us.
God. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover.
That's why we eat the Passover in haste, meaning quick. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to, like, damn, let's be out of here. We want to get the hell out of here.
In that spirit.
That's like why we do it on this side too here in America. It's spiritual. It's all spiritual. But the Lord will deliver us, physically change our bodies and all that. But you want to, eat it fast in a hurry. And no time to, like I said, no time to be marinating the Passover, no time to be seasoning the Passover. This ain't got like some Israelites do that. That's a violation of Exodus chapter 12. Some Israelites do that.
God.
Meaning season like the lamb and stuff like that. Nope.
God. This is verse 12. Exodus 12, verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beasts, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am
Right.
Yahawah.
Right. The scriptures say, what's that? Psalm 96, that the God of the nations or the heathens are nothing. All right. And these Egyptians, for those that don't know, they go back to Ham, or one of the sons of Ham, which was Mizraim, or Mizraim, which came out of Ham, or Africans. All right. Because we were in hardcore bondage underneath these Egyptians for 400 years, or a little over, or 400 years. All right. Our big brother, what's that? Stephen spoke about it when you go to Acts, the 7th chapter. When you go to Genesis 15, Abraham was told by the Heavenly Father that our people will be in bondage for 400 years and be afflicted before it happened.
God.
So our forefathers knew about this. Why do you think Stephen broke down the history when you go to Acts 7? Because he was talking to Israelites about our history. You know what I'm saying? If this Bible is for everybody, why would Stephen be breaking down our Passover history to anybody else? It doesn't line up.
God.
We know that Yahawashi only came and died for the Israelites.
God.
All right, Matthew 1:21. He didn't come to die for nobody. People talk about Passover. Well, Passover, okay, that Yahawashi is our Passover. The Passover for who? The Israelites, but really starting with, all right, well, on this side, the elect. All right, all Israelites ain't coming out of this time. They're not being delivered out. This ain't ancient Egypt. This Most High wants 2/3 dead. And that's simple and plain,
Exactly. This is Exodus 12, verse 13. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite.
Hey, SHALAWAM.
SHALAWAM.
Yeah, it's not a brother on the common board.
Yeah,
Read that again now.
Gone.
Hey,
This is Exodus 12, verse 13. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be
see,
upon you to destroy you
right,
when I smite the land.
right, right. So that death angel will pass over. He'll kill the firstborn in Egypt, or you could go into what? Exodus 11. You go into like the books of Exodus that talks about the plagues that the Most High was bringing to these Hamites. All right. So those with that blood on their doorpost, which are only going to be who? The elect, are not going to be touched by the destroyer.
God.
All right. Yahawashi is known as what? The angel of death. He's known as the destroyer. All right. The scriptures say he's the destroyer of the Gentiles. All right. Here's one precept.
God.
Let me just grab this just for a quick precept. This 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse. I'll start at verse. Man, I can really start from the top, but this is the Apostle Paul breaking down the history. But it says this: 1 Corinthians 10 and 8. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day, 3 and 20,000. Neither let us tempt the Mashiach Yahawashi, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur he, as some of them also murmured. It's talking about wicked Israelites or rebellious Israelites, and were destroyed of the destroyer. In the NLT, it says the angel of death. That's Yahawashi. That's straight to the point.
God.
That's straight to the point. Even before, like I mentioned, even before the Passover was established, even like, all right, when before the Most High gave Moses the instruction, or Aaron or the Israelites the instruction how to keep the Passover, Yahawashi was already predestined to be that Passover. And I'm going to prove it.
God.
All right, let's grab this precept. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 19. Actually, I'll start at verse 18. For as much as ye know that he were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your vain conversation received by tradition of your fathers, from your fathers, but with the precious blood of a Mashiach Yahawashi, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for us. What does it mean, foreordained? Let's look that word up. To be foreordained. It says here, beforehand, preordained, predetermined, predestined. So this thing was already set up way before Exodus chapter 12, Exodus 13, Deuteronomy 16 and 16. All right, going up to Jerusalem to keep the Passover. All right, and other holy days. All these things were already set up in the spirit for Yahawashi to be that sacrificial lamb. All right, the Levites going off, how the Levites would atone for their sins. All right, they will atone for their own sins, or and then for the sins of the people, but they had to repeatedly do it over and over again. They couldn't get it perfect, but Yahawashi did it one time. So before there was a Levitical priesthood, everything was already preordained in the spirit world. Everything was already set up to happen like the way it happened, right? So we, me, you, all these all brothers, every brother in this ministry, we owe Yahawashi. We owe Yahawashi, all right? We owe Yahawashi because we ain't nothing, man. I look at myself, I ain't nothing. I'm nothing, man. I'm nothing. My very best is what? Filthy rags. All right, we're nobody. We're nobody.
God. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and are you jumping back into
Exodus 12, right?
Exodus? Oh yeah, we're still in Exodus 12. You want to go ahead and read into to verse 14?
Let's keep going. Now, we'll see where we can stop at.
God, this is Exodus 12, verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it as a feast to the Lord Yahawah throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by ordinance forever.
Hold on, I forgot to mention something too.
God.
It says we should eat the Passover with bitter herbs, right? Bitter herbs. Now, these Amalekites, you know what they do during their so-called Passover? They have something called kosher cigarettes. Kosher, you know what I'm talking about. We spoke about this. They have something called kosher cigarettes. All right, the scriptures say not to defile your temple or your body. Okay, and they also have something called kosher pork. All right, that's you don't keep the Passover. No, what's kosher about cigarettes and pork? Showing you they're not the Most High's people. They're not the real Jews, man. We're gonna constantly be bombarding these devils with this truth. We're gonna constantly bring it to these devils day in and day out, whether they like it or not. Whether when we go out there on the streets, when we do live streams, when we do sit downs, when we do videos, we're gonna keep bringing it to these devils. You know?
God.
Hey, man, it's not all about cursing Edomites out. Anybody could do that, but it's I ain't gonna front. It's sometimes like a joy, because Yahawashi gave us this truth, and it's like the scriptures say, what's that your enemies cannot resist the gainsay. How they always come up to us at camp. You ask them a simple question like, what does the word Jew mean? Where does the word Jew go back to? And they never have the correct answer. God. Never. But if they do say Yahudi, then that's Yiddish and not Hebrew. So you can cut them in every, and that's a joy knowing that they're not the people of the Most High, because the Lord only loves us out of all families of the earth. He chose us to be delivered. That's something special, man.
God.
You know how disobedient we were against the Heavenly Father and Yahawashi? How we provoke, and we still provoke him to his face? All right, our people are very stiff-necked.
Hey, I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to
jump in. You got it. You got it.
God. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. That's literally prophecy.
No, you can break it down. You got it.
God, which is happening today. Our people are starting to come back to their true heritage. These people are they're finished. These Edomites, they're through. Because and it shows, that's Jake. Jake is stiff-necked, man. Time and time you show them, you tell them, it just doesn't get through to them, because it proves the Lord right, though, because he blinded them. Majority of our you talked about that 66.6% of the Israelites here in America. That's 2/3. The majority of our people here in America are gonna be missile food.
You ever? It's like they can't get right.
Yeah, it's not in them.
They can't get right, man. They can't get right. It's the Most High program 2/3 to be the way they are in the reincarnation. That's why the same must know it after death by pain. These are the same spirits that's been contending with us from back then. The same exact spirits. These bug outs, the scoffers, right? These are the same dudes that are on the scene now. They're here going against the doctrine, speaking all manner of evil against us falsely, calling us rapists, all right, falsely accusing us. They're going to have to pay for that shit. They're going to have to pay for that shit. All right, whether they think so or not, but they're going to have to pay for that. Hey, Shalawam to all to the 𝐤𝐄𐅄𐤄 board.
God, Shalawam. So you want to jump back into Exodus 12?
Yeah.
God, this is Exodus 12, verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord Yahawah throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth...
Which let's stop right there, which is almost impossible to do. But for brothers that can do that, you'll remove like the yeast, the leaven, right? I mentioned leaven. You'll remove like the leaven. I get that confused, unleavened leaven, but the leaven out of your house, or like the yeast. You know what I'm saying? Because during the time of the Passover, all right, we weren't allowed. I don't even think you got to that part yet, but we weren't allowed to, to put like yeast and all that, like bread rise or whatever. We just that's why we eat unleavened bread during the Passover.
God.
Yep.
7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread.
Hey, hold on, now. Hold on. I got another Babakusha. Let me read this right quick. Now, the Passover, right? The Passover is interchangeable with the Feast of Unleavened Bread. For brothers that don't know, I'm gonna grab Deuteronomy 16 and 16. Then I'm gonna go into what's that? Matthew, I believe it's 26 and 17. But it's Deuteronomy 16 and 16. The reason why I want to bring this out too is because Sakari teaches that the Passover is different from the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's two separate things. That's a lie. All right. And we're going to grab whatever precept the brothers got on the common board. We'll read it too. But it says this, Deuteronomy 16 and 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord, thy power in the place which he shall choose. And that's Israel, Jerusalem. And the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Then it mentions the Feast of Weeks and then the Feast of Tabernacles. Now here it says in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, but it doesn't say Passover here. So that right there is telling you, wait, the Feast of Unleavened Bread got to be Passover. And how do we prove that? You go to Matthew 26 and verse 17. It says this. Yeah, that's it. Now this is when Yahawashi was betrayed. Actually, I'll start from like verse 14. Then one of the 12 called Judas Iscariot went unto the chief priest and said unto them, what will he give me? And I will deliver him unto you. And they covenanted with him for 40 pieces of silver. And from that time, he saw opportunity to betray him. Right, Judas, which you got plenty, a lot of Judases out here. It says this, verse 17. Now the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the disciples came to Yahawashi, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? Okay, so clearly the Feast of Unleavened Bread is interchangeable with the Passover, and that's simple as that. It ain't no separate here. And of course the unleavened bread, what we eat it for like 7 days, but it's all ties into what the Passover, which is the same exact thing. Because I don't even know if you got to it, but the Most High said not to hold on. What verse are you on now?
We were on verse 15. Exodus 12 and 15.
Okay. Hold on. First one. 23. Hold on. All right, you got it out. You got it.
This is
You got
Exodus
it.
12, verse 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the
Right, and
first day,
also leaven can represent like a false doctrine. Leaven can like represent a false doctrine, and it's spiritual because the scriptures call us what? The temple, right? We're like the Most High's temple.
God,
Okay, this third temple being built is spiritual. We shouldn't contain any leaven in our spirit. You know what I'm saying? That which also can represent like the wickedness. It also can represent a false doctrine. Now I'm going to prove that.
God.
It says here, 1 Corinthians, right? 1 Corinthians, verse 5, right? When you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and I'll start at verse 6. It says this: your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, right? Purge out the old leaven. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that he may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. So there you go. From Mashiach Yahawashi, our Passover is sacrificed for us, right? Actually, let me read this NOT, right? It says, your boasting about this is terrible. Don't you realize that this sin is like a little yeast that spreads through the whole batch of dough? Get rid of the old yeast by removing this wicked person from among you. So if you got someone eating a Passover unworthily, then you know what that could do to the whole body? It could infect the whole body. It's like a cancer, inching little by little, is spreading little by little, and it destroys the whole body. You can't have that. You got to cut it off. You got to cut it off, and it says this: then you will be like a fresh batch of dough made without yeast, which is what you really are. Mashiach Yahawashi, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed for us. So let us celebrate the festival now with the old bread of wickedness and evil. So there you go. But with the new bread of sincerity and truth.
God.
Right? And that's straight to the point. Yahawashi even said to the Pharisees, right? He said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. What was it I was referring to? What they were teaching. Beware of what they're teaching, because it ain't right. Hold on now. Yeah. You don't allow religious? What do you mean by you don't allow religious? All right. Okay. See, these are demons, Doc. These are demons.
Nah, most definitely.
These are demons. These are demons. But that was an Elamite. These are demons.
Yeah, I could tell by the voice.
Yeah. Yeah, he's telling me he don't allow me speaking like this or lighting up an incense. These are demons.
And you're at a park though, right?
Look,
it's a public park.
Look, for brothers to see. Look, it's a public park. Look, it's a public park.
Yeah, he don't own that. That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Hold on. To avoid problems, agree with your adversary quickly.
Yeah. Yep.
On
Smart.
Bear with us. Hey, it is condition of the battle. It is what it is. Hold on now.
God.
Unbelievable. Oh man.
What was he doing before he told you that? He just walking around?
He was walking around and waiting to say. He was mustering us, thinking of something to say to me.
He was offended, God.
Yeah, he was offended. He said he doesn't allow me talking like that about the Bible. Unbelievable. That's demons for you, man.
All you read too was the unleavened, being wicked.
It is what it is, though. The scriptures do say to agree with the adversary quickly.
God.
So let me just, let me move out of there. Yeah. Brothers are passionate for this truth. So let me watch out what I say too.
God.
That sounded like an Elamite.
Yeah.
Actually, write down here should be good.
Hey, I
Okay,
got,
okay,
my,
good,
my
good.
nephew showing up too. They're about to be loud as hell. Should we go ahead and do the second half later or tomorrow?
Yeah, you know what?
Let's go ahead and tie it up.
Let's wrap it up, Bach. Let's
God,
wrap
God.
it up. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah,
The Lord,
hey, do me a favor.
yeah,
Go on your pad real quick and
God,
read the brothers' comments,
God,
scriptures
God,
that he
God.
posted.
I got it right here.
About
My
that.
phone, I can pull it up.
Oh, you can pull it up on it. Okay,
God,
God.
the brother 𝐤𐄄𐅄𐤄, Yahawashi, Jeremiah 7:29. Cut off thine hair, O Jerusalem, and cast it away, and take up a lamentation on high places, for the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, hath rejected and forsaken the generation. And
Yeah,
that's
gone, gone. There's more.
I'm gonna double check. It had a dot, 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 so I want to pick it up. Okay, yeah. Jeremiah 7:29. Cut off thine hair, O Jerusalem, and cast it away, and take up a lamentation on high places. For Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, hath rejected and forsaken the generation of his wrath.
Gone. That was the only precept.
God, that's what he commented.
Gone.
From what I could see.
Yes. More willing you brothers are edified,
God,
fed and edified, but this the condition of the battle, you know. And we're gonna have to come back and make like a part two.
God.
So Lord willing, but you know these people get offended when they hear the truth, you know, and these scriptures it cuts deep. It cuts
Definitely.
deep, you know, and we hope to be delivered from this place. We hope to be
The
delivered
hands of the
from out of
wicked.
here,
God.
man. You
Exactly.
know, 'cause these people they get offended, man. You know, when we go out there on the streets, you know, when we
They
go
would
out
love
there
to
on the
tell us
streets,
that. Yeah, they would love to tell us, hey, get out of here.
yeah, they always do that. Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't speak like that no more. You know, because these people are cut.
Yep.
They're cut, man. So yeah, we're gonna close it up. I don't want to be holding this like this, but with that, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah,
Yahawah.
BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Qadash.
Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Qadash.
God. How you turn this off with the X right there, right? Because I'm
God,
not
God,
using this loudspeaker.
God.
All
Shalom,
right.
Shalom.
Gosh. Shalom.